Welcome back to week 6, and in video 4 we're going to talk about what air masses are and what they have to do with the weather. So what are they? Air masses are large bodies of air that have relatively uniform temperature and humidity characteristics. These air masses are named after where they form, which is called their source region. So if air stays over a source region long enough, it's going to acquire the properties of the surface below. So for example, the polar region or the tropics. Those are all examples of locations where we can have these different air masses develop. So Canada, Siberia, oceans, things like that. We classify air masses according to their temperature and moisture characteristics. So the tropical air masses are going to have high temperature and probably high humidity. Continental tropical are going to be high temperature, low humidity. The maritime polar, so polar, cold, maritime, humid. Continental is going to mean dry, maritime means humid, and then the capital letter T, P, A means tropical, polar, or Arctic. So those are our main categories. So these air masses, once they form, can actually move from place to place. They can move into areas and out of areas and affect the weather in various ways. And that's what happens when we see cooler temperatures coming during certain parts of the year, like the wintertime. So if we looked over here at a close-up view of this map again, so we have the continental polar air mass, maritime polar, continental Arctic, and then maritime tropical and continental tropical. So when these air masses develop and we have the Earth rotating, you have the jet streams flowing, these air masses can move from place to place. So we can see this continental polar air mass move down over the center of North America. We can see it shift upwards. We can see these tropical zones moving in, and we see air temperatures increasing. So depending on these air masses and where they're invading into, we can change the weather by making it warm and wet, warm and dry, or cool and wet. So those are air masses in a nutshell. So we'll come back and talk about weather fronts.